Izuku Midoriya, a child who took bear of the war between all of Japan. Throughout MHA, there are characters with godlike abilities, Bakugo being able to create explosions larger than 10-story buildings using just sweat, Shigaraki possessing the strength to decay anything into dust with seemingly no limit to its power and chain reactions, Eri owning the quirk Rewind, able to rewind anyone or anything biologically to any point, even till they simply don't exist anymore. 13. Possessing the power to tear apart the earth by creating black holes with only her fingertips. All Might, the strongest, possessing All for One, which is a quirk passed down generation by generation, giving each inheritor unimaginable levels of power. But with all of these quirks, abilities, and characters, there's a kid whose sole goal in life is to become the greatest hero. But to be a hero, you need a powerful quirk. Izuku Midoriya, as having no quirk but a great heart, caught All Might himself's attention, passing down One for All to Midoriya, but Midoriya is only able to use 8% of its power with just one finger, extremely limiting his capabilities throughout the series. Midoriya is constantly training, making it into UA, the top school, to become a pro hero, quickly surpassing his classmates without having any real battle experience. But this all changes when we're introduced into a new organization, the League of Villains, launching an attack run by Darby, an extremely powerful fire quirk user, which used his entire team to create an interpretation of multiple different quirk abilities to overcome the area, with their most powerful being Muscular, a quirk user with the ability to multiply his muscles with only the limit of imagination itself, seemingly defeating Izuku Midoriya in a fight. But Midoriya simply can't accept defeat, as losing this fight would ruin his chances of becoming the strongest. Using Delaware Smash 1,000,000%, bending the rules of power and defeating Muscular, beginning his journey to become the strongest. Izuku Midoriya fighting in multiple fights and growing stronger as time passes on, fighting one of the most powerful characters of all time, Kai Chisaki, owning the quirk Overhaul, being able to manipulate matter at his touch and transform anything into anything he desires. But Izuku Midoriya was simply too powerful, winning another fight using All for One 100%, but in the process destroying his body. This good heart has begun to take a dark turn, being overcome with the burden of the war between villains and heroes. We're introduced to All for One. Both All for One and One for All were a quirk between two brothers, one being able to steal other people's quirks and the other being able to give quirks, creating the ultimate fight each generation, One for All versus All for One. With there never being a clear winner, it's all up to Izuku Midoriya to finally end this generational battle. But Midoriya loses himself to his desires, entering the Dark Deku arc. He's given up on everyone around him and taken everything onto himself. With All for One sending multiple assassins at Midoriya, they didn't expect this Dark Deku to have become this sort of creature, having not one but 7 quirks, One for All, the inherited quirk passed down between generations, Transmission, being able to slow time down to hit multiple targets with 100% accuracy, Fajin, making the repeated use of a movement increase its power into one crazy movement or attack, Danger Sense, sensing danger before it even gets close to Midoriya, Black Whip, giving Midoriya an extremely powerful set of dark whips with free movement from the mind, Smokescreen, being able to release a smokescreen of any size, Float, simply giving Izuku Midoriya the ability to fly, with each assassin being sent after Midoriya by All for One, some being extremely powerful, other weaker, none of them stood a chance. Remember that Muscular that Midoriya wrecked his own body against at the beginning of the series? He's now back with twice the amount of strength from intense training and recovery, but it's finally time to see Izuku Midoriya's strength in action, being completely possessed by his dark self. He's not waiting around, floating down onto the battlefield with ease, dashing straight through Muscular, absolutely cooking him, then using Black Whip to tie him up and giving him to the heroes. This isn't the same Midoriya we knew before. He's changed, continuing on in his Dark Deku arc. Midoriya ends up in a fight with his entire class from UA, but while they're using all their strength, Midoriya is holding back exponentially so that he doesn't hurt any of them. With Class A using all their quirks combined, Midoriya easily overcoming each attack while holding back. But eventually Class A is successful, Midoriya breaking down into tears, finally revealing that this hardened heart was just a phase. It's finally time for Midoriya to release his true potential. scaling to around half the speed of light, and power being scaled between large island and small country. But remember, Deku is only using 45% of one for all as of right now, so we know his power can double, guaranteed.